in a place called Connecticut. You are with the Lady Ranger, Deborah K. Levi, and I am here tonight interviewing the one and the only Jay Medellin. Welcome, Jay Medellin.
Good evening.
Good evening. So let's talk about this video that is so alarming about a lady from Connecticut who had a terrible voting experience and wanted the public to know about it. And after you saw the video, you got a hold of me and said, that was fantastic. But you also said, it brought to mind what happened to me. And when you ever started telling me, I said, I got to get an interview right away. So here we are. And Jay is going to tell you a little bit about what went down when he went to vote for the President of the United States in 2020.
Exactly.
Correct? Okay.
I waited in line. I went into the election hall. I handed the three girls at the desk my driver's license, and they told me that I was not registered as a voter in the state of Connecticut. And I says, you got to be kidding me. I looked at everyone in line behind me and said, well, I guess no one ever heard of Jay Medellin, and I'm not registered on this voters list. What the hell are they doing here? Of course, I was rushed one side, and somebody had to draw it up in a computer, whether it was true or not, and I still don't know to this day if my vote was counted. But I was pretty upset about it.
Really? You don't know if your vote was counted?
Don't know. I wasn't in the logbook.
You weren't in the logbook.
But I went over to somebody on the computer, and they looked it up and said, oh yeah, he can vote. Sounds a little fishy to me.
That sounds a little fishy to me as well.
Yep.
And isn't it funny that with Joanne's interview?
And how many more out there?
That's what she said. That's what she said. Was there anything else that you could tell us about when you were voting that day? Or did you want to talk to anybody else there? Or did you kind of just...
No.
Were you surprised?
I was surprised and upset because I've been voting for 45 years since I was 20 years old. And it's never been a problem. So what happened between the checkoff list and the computers?
And that was 2020.
They didn't give a paper. They just said, oh, he can vote, give him a ballot. Well, I don't know what happened. But to this day, I wonder if my vote did count.
So you really are wondering if it really went through.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad. You know, it's just unraveling the whole thing, and it's just part of what's going on in this country. Is there anything else that you would like to share tonight about 2022 and, you know, what's happening and what you feel is...
Well, we will see. It's always, you know, one's beating up the other one, and you know, you're just kind of like, you hope you vote for the right person.
Right.
But the economy's in big trouble here, so you just hope you make the right vote.
And have you liked our current president, Joe Biden?
I don't know. He's just, he should be retired. He's not a person for office at this point. If he worked for...
He's medically unfit. May I say that? He's medically unfit, as we know it.
If he worked for a company, the company would say, Joe, you need to retire and go home with your children, your grandchildren. Him trying to run the country is just, and you know, dirty politics that go on down there, and Nancy Pelosi pointing her finger and making faces at people do not help this country. It just divides them.
Yeah.
So let's hope for the best.
You're with the one and only Jay Medellin, farmer in Branford, Connecticut, well known to many. And you are retired now, sir?
Well, the farm has been here for 130 years, and I just retired because I had enough fighting with what went on down here with flooding issues. And no one wanted to step up to the plate and say, they were wrong. Let's help the guy. Let's fix the problem. Let's stop the road from flooding. Let's help the neighbors. Their properties being flooded. It is totally wrong, and it's happening everywhere.
I'm really sorry to hear it. That whole entire situation.
Well, we're going to say farms. Well, you come down Leetztown Road and you look at the two farms that's down here. Leet's the oldest farm in Connecticut down the street. There's 50 acres underwater because of a broken pipe. And he's been fighting for 50 years. So we both basically gave up.
Unbelievable. Well, you know, when the road, there's that road there by Jarvis Creek that is just flooding and flooding and flooding, and this is connecting the two towns, Branford and Guilford, and what's going to happen there is eventually that's going to be, it's starting to look like a sinkhole to me, and what are they waiting for? You know, are they waiting for a terrible accident to happen or the sinkhole to, I mean, the priorities in Branford are just not in the right order. And I just feel bad for everything that has happened to you and your neighbors and what you had to go through. And I'm sorry about it.
Yep.
But you do need to move forward.
I have not seen any engineers. I have not seen any surveyors. No one cares that Route 146 goes underwater to the top of the guardrail. They just continue to drive through it. Well, good luck with their cars driving through it.
Right. So, Mr. Medellin, it's voting time again.
Oh, God.
What's going to happen this time when you go into the voters' room there, wherever you're going to go vote there at the school? What will you do this time? Oh, you're going to a church?
Yeah.
And you're going to go vote there. So what are you going to do this time when you go in? Are you going to like...
Bless yourself and hope that you color in the right circle.
I think you better wear the right glasses. Right? But no, what I'm asking you is...
If you don't vote, you blame yourself, that's all.
No, I'm asking you what, because of what happened to you last time when you went in to vote, and you saw that it was a little shaky at best, you'll be looking at what's really going on when